I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.
From vision to niche. I'm going to say it that way on purpose. I'll do it again. From vision to niche, journey to entrepreneurial success. That's what we're going to talk about today as much as we can in the time we have allocated. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Coach Phil, and I have an intruder. There we go. I'm back. See how this is live and it's raw. So welcome to the show. I'm your host, Coach Phil. And we're going to be exploring what is niche or niche, as they say. But niche rhymes better with a quote that I heard from a powerful entrepreneur by the name of T. Harv Eker. He says, niche to get rich. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn what that means today with my guest, because that's what Todd's an expert at. I've got peers, associates that worked with him, and it's turned their business around in terms of being a coach. They've got energy back in their heart, and they've got that bounce back in their step. So hold on to your seat. Todd will be with us shortly. In the meantime, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're watching us live, that's fantastic. Shoot your questions at us. And if you're watching us on the replay, remember it's #replay. And if you've got questions, comments, feedback, send it our way. That's how we get better. And the other thing is I would ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be helpful. Getting the messages of the guests out there. Just never know whether it's today, a month from today, a year from today, or 5 years from now, somebody's going to hear something from one of the guests on the show. It's going to be a game-changing, life-shifting moment. So you could help with that, whether you knew it or not. And the way to do that is to subscribe and share this out with your community. I was going to run my I'm going to do it anyway. Here comes a shameless plug to help you understand what I do. Yeah, it's true. No credit card required. All you need to do is go to the website, coachphil.ca. On the top right-hand corner, as you look at the screen, is a button, Business Growth Score. Click on that. There's several questions in there. Fill it out, answer them. You might get a light bulb moment, say, wow, I'm on the right path, nothing to do. Awesome. And you might find out there's room for improvement and no cost to do that. Also, if you would like to have a 30-minute conversation in and around the findings of that, that's complimentary as well. Just shoot us a note. Let us know that's what you'd like to do, and we'd be happy to make that happen. And if it's not me, I'm part of a network around the globe. I'm pretty sure we'd have somebody on our team that could provide you with an answer or some ideas in and around the challenges you're actually facing. So enough about that. Let's get ready to get the show on the road like we were planning to do in the beginning. And I got hijacked because I use voice over IP, and somebody phoned. And that's bad on me. Anyway, life is what it is. So from vision to niche, journey to entrepreneurial success. My guest, Todd, is the founder of Grow a Niche Business, helping businesses discover their niche and attract their ideal clients. Todd has consulted as a product and go-to-market strategist and has founded a diverse range of businesses from cabins to early stage co-working and men's groups, each focused on delivering something unique. Today, he teaches others, he's going to share with us today, how niching works and helps coaches, consultants, and advisors find their niche. Niche to get rich, as Harv Eker says. Without further ado, I'm going to bring the man, the myth, and the legend up right now. Hello, Todd. Welcome to the show, and thank you for being here.
How are we doing, Phil? Thank you for letting me join you.
So how did we get on this crazy journey? I'll tell you how we got there. One of my peers sent me an introduction to you and told me some of the magnificent things that were happening in his coaching practice that gave him the focus, and then that focus gave him the passion that was there, but it was kind of almost convoluted in terms of it wasn't specific, wasn't focal, pointed, pun intended.
Yes.
And then he met you somehow.
Yeah, I was speaking at just a networking group. There's groups of coaches that get together, on a monthly or biweekly basis just to support one another. And I had worked with a coach helping her find her niche. She said, "You need to come on to my monthly group and talk to everybody about how you did it." And I met the person that you're talking about now in that session. I just did a 30-minute session, and he realized there is a way to find his niche. And he instinctively knew if he could do that, that he would have the business that he wanted. And so he gave me a call. We went through what I do, and he found his niche. And your description of him is exactly right. The pep in his step, the feeling of being centered around what it is that makes him most valuable. Another way that I like to say it is, of all the cards in his hand, he knows which one is the best one to play now. And he's doing it, and he's loving it.
I like that. That takes me back to decades. I won't say many years, but multiple decades. One of the first people I had on this journey of living into my potential, he used the metaphor of a deck of cards, and it's how you play the hand that's dealt you. So it's kind of cool how you brought that back into my consciousness.
Yeah. And that's really kind of at the base of what I do when I help people find their niche. The answer isn't somewhere outside of them, and we need to bolt on some kind of new knowledge to help them be successful. They already have the raw materials. They just need help putting them together.
Yeah. So who are you to do that? So in other words, how did you get started in that space?
So from a couple of parallel directions. One, just my sort of day job career. I come from a product and go-to-market strategy place, mostly with technology companies. I started back in the 90s with technology companies, and in technology, you're always trying to figure out how to make your product unique. Because every 20 minutes, it seems like there's a new piece of technology showing up, claiming to do something magical. And so you're always kind of dodging and weaving and positioning what you do. And that led me into consulting with companies, helping them do the same thing, figuring out how to stand out in a crowded market. So a bunch of positioning work that I did. But then I also, in parallel to that, started some businesses. And you mentioned them at the beginning. I built cabins. I started a co-working business before I knew what co-working was, before it was a common term. And I found a way to help men lead men's groups. And with each of the businesses that I ran, my number one goal was to figure out, what can I do that's unique? Not crazy or silly. I wasn't trying to be different just to be a shiny object, but I wanted to figure out, within all of the things that I could offer people in that industry, what is something that I can develop that really stands out, that creates unique value? And that was kind of it sounds silly to say it this way, but the North Star that I was following as I built these businesses. I didn't have to be the best at building cabins, for example. I just needed a unique approach at doing it. So 25 years of doing that allowed me to get to the point where I figured out how to help someone find their niche. And that's, very difficult for people. And now I can help them get there.
What are some of the things that you would say would be the hurdles that make it difficult for entrepreneurs, business owners?
Yeah, to find their niche.
Yeah.
The number one thing that holds people back from finding their niche is that they misunderstand what a niche is. They're going the wrong direction. And so I can just do a little bit of myth busting right here and put people on the right track. Most people think that a niche is a market. And I don't blame them for that. If you Google what is a niche, or you Google how do I find my niche, very likely you're going to get an answer that says pick a market, focus on them, they will like you back, and then you'll have a niche. And so people just, when you ask somebody what's your niche, they answer by telling you a market. And so if you are looking for a niche, you're led to believe, I just need to pick a market. The problem is niching doesn't work like that. The reason is a niche will give you a defensible position in a market. So I'm going to kind of build the mechanics and the logic around this for people. A niche will give you a defensible position in a market. Well, you can't have a defensible position in a market just by picking a market. And the reason is anybody else can pick that same market. So let's say you and I are coaches, and I say that I work with technology companies that make $5 million or less. That doesn't prevent you from saying, well, I work with technology companies that make $5 million or less. You and I just laying claim to that market doesn't tell those technology companies which one of us is best to work with. We're just picking a favorite market. So you can't have a defensible position in a market just by picking a market. So the answer is, well, what does give you a defensible position? And the answer is a unique approach. If I can develop a unique approach that I use in my coaching, that unique approach will lead me to a certain market, but it'll give me a defensible position when I get there. So let's go back to the friend that you're referencing, the business coach. He is a fantastic coach that has a broad range of things he could do to help people. But when he would just say, I'm a business coach with all these skills and I can help you, nobody hired him. That's not interesting at all. And so what we did is we looked at what is a unique approach that you can take in your coaching and develop that. And once he found that, he realized, I don't just come in and go, hey, you tell me what to do, Mr. Client. He comes in and says, this is what I do. This is my unique approach. And this works really well with people like you. And he explains why. And so he's gone from trying to coerce people to work with him into helping people see whether or not they're a good fit with him. And it changes everything. It changes the dynamic of the conversation. So to sum all that up, a niche is not a market. If you're trying to find your niche by looking at all the markets and evaluating, you'll never get there. What you have to do is discover a unique approach and then let that lead you to the right market that you should be working with.
I'm still here. I'm just ruminating on what you're talking about. Right? I've sat there contemplating because just getting better at that. And some people say, "Are you froze?" No, I'm still here. I just really capturing what you're saying there.
Yeah, it is a mind shift. It is, people will say, and I see this all the time. I meet someone and I ask them, do you have an itch? They say no, and I say, well, how are you trying to fix that? And they say, well, I really like working with moms, or I really like the idea of working with minority-owned businesses. And they go about explaining why they like the market and what they think, they can offer that market. And they're trying to reverse engineer a solution for a market, completely unaware that there's thousands of other people doing the same thing. And after I ask them some questions, they kind of realize what they have to offer people, the strongest card that they have in their hand to play, might lead them to work with another subset of the market, not minority-owned businesses. And so once they make that shift and they stop thinking about the market and they just think about their unique approach, they go, wow, I'm ideally suited for them, this other group that I haven't really paid attention to. And that's when things take off for them. So most people who are looking for their niche are looking under the wrong rock. And that's why they're frustrated with the whole process.
It's interesting. We had that kind of expressed to us at our conference this year in Chicago, is fishing in the right pond with the right lure or bait, right? It's an important thing to do to understand, I'm not a fisherman, so I'm not a really good person to talk about it because I'll be inaccurate. But I understand it from a metaphorical point of view, and that is, I'm not landing in the community where I would have the most fun and the most energy and really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm kind of doing where I have to go, or I think I have to go. And like you say, turn up the rock and there's nothing under there that appeals to me, and I'm not appealing to them. If there is something living under that rock, right?
That's right. That's right. And one of the things that's magical about this is your unique approach is what makes your customer resonate with you.
Yeah.
It's not the certification or the industry that you're in. I talk to coaches all the time that, they'll say things like, well, I'm an exit planner, or I'm a financial coach, or I'm a whatever. And they go into the conversation with their potential client and they say things like, well, you want to have a valuable business, don't you? You want to, have this run without you. And they make all these statements that it's a little negative, but I don't mean it to be. These are oxygen is good statements. They're the kind of statements that everybody's going to agree with. Well, of course I want to have a valuable business. Of course I want to do that. Mm-hmm. But the question that the prospective customer is asking themselves is, are you the right one to get me there? I'm absolutely clear that I want to have a valuable business, that I need systems, that I'm sold on that. I'm not sold on you. They're not going to say that because they don't want to be rude. But as a business coach, you have to know that going in. You can talk about, I help you build a valuable business, but what you really need to articulate is, here is my unique approach to get you there. And it can't be just relying on a certification, because there's lots of people who have your same certification. Articulate the unique approach that you're going to take, and then people can go, well, yeah, that fits me perfectly. All right, I'll sign up with you to take me there.
Interesting. I think I sort of kind of knew what you were going to talk about, but there's still some nuances in there that are like taking the burrs off a already sharp knife. I think that's what you've done for me today so far. I work with I work with a group of coaches individually. And one of the things I see over the years of working with these people is a common obstacle. I like to call it obstacle illusion. That's how it was taught to me. And I thought, yeah, that's true. Because in their head, they're thinking, they get the shiny, like I think you said it already today, the shiny object syndrome, from the who to serve, not what program that they should, or what course or what book syndrome. There is that for people in business as well. It can be a distraction. It could be something that I would define as creative avoidance. So it takes them away from doing things that are the most valuable, but also the most uncomfortable, so they can do things that are easy. And they don't consciously do it. It's like the ant and the elephant. The ant's riding on the elephant, and the elephant's driving the boat. Well, it's not a boat, but it's walking down the path, right? And it's the conscious mind, the ant, that really has the smarts. The brain just has a lot of data, a lot of experiences, and it just walks. When you manage the elephant, then life is easier. So by doing the niche approach to get rich, and I'm not all about money, that the rich is just rhymes with niche, so it makes sense. And Hardbacker said it, and it resonated with me. But rich could be defined, have the impact that you want. It could be about profitability, and profit's not a bad thing, because with profit you can help more people faster, quicker, and easier. And it's the ripple effect. It helps the whole economy. Or it's maybe the impact and the profitability and just the feeling good about your own life, right? When your business is successful and you're helping people, it's amazing. Because we talked off camera about self-talk. I'm going to jump into that just for a couple of seconds. And I had a session with a client of mine. I hadn't talked to this particular individual for a little bit. And some of the things that he was talking about, and the reason why we're talking, I went, wow, they really are doing what I introduced to them. And that jacked me up more than any monetary reward, because the monetary reward's already gone. This was like 2-3 years ago. But hearing how they're still implementing, and they used some ideas that they were introduced to through the program we put together for them specifically to do something in a new market where a new group of people that they're targeting, and it had a wildly crazy positive impact. And this is why I do what I do.
Mhm.
It's that aha moment and the feedback. So it was good to hear that. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
that's
kind of
exactly right. I'm glad you told that story. The whole, nice little rhyme of there's riches in the niches. You're exactly right. Yes, there's money. Yes, you're going to be successful, but all of those other types of riches exist. One of the definitions of the word niche is a wonderful word, it has many, many definitions. One of them is that it's something that fits you. Yes, it fits the customer. Yes, it's valuable, but it also fits you. And I want you to think about that feeling when you've put on a suit coat that was just right fit, and instantly you're like, I'll take it. I can feel it. And when you step into a role where you do something professionally, you make money at it, that's fine. But you do something and a light bulb goes on and you make a difference in somebody's life. That is incredibly validating, rewarding. And when you can sync those two things up, when you can do something that fits you really well and you're offering it to people and you're making money at it, but you're making a difference in their lives, that's a richness that transcends money easily. And I think that a lot of people have an opportunity to experience that, but they don't because they don't know they can have that. They know they just need to go out there and keep making money, and they're willing to try on, basically play a bunch of the cards in their hands to make money, but they don't realize there's one card that they can play that is uniquely them, that is their unique approach. And if they play that card, not only will they win the money, but they'll win the opportunity to make a difference in somebody's life personally. And that's why you need to find that card and you need to play it.
Yeah, I like that when I'm thinking about the other people I work with in the coaching space that are coaches. Yes, they would like the money, but I don't recall any of them that are chasing the money. They're looking to be a coach, and they're
Yes.
damn good at it, by the way. What they're struggling with is the part where you could help them, and that's to help them identify how to get I like that pep in the step back, right? To able to help them go through the things that are uncomfortable because they have such a passion to do it. If people laughed at them along the way or threw barbs at them, they won't care. They won't even hear it. It'll deflect off them like water off the back of a duck,
Yeah.
right?
This mutual friend that we're talking about who just went through the process and we found his niche, he has been writing me emails every few days when he'll have a conversation with somebody. He just lined up a speaking gig. He's just itching to get on stage and talk about his unique approach. And the energy is there and it's a lot of fun. And so we've just so recently worked together. I don't know that he's had time to take someone through his new process and get paid from it. However, if you were to ask him, is he richer today than he was 2 months ago? He'll say, oh, yeah, absolutely. He wakes up with a clear understanding. This is what I do to help these particular people. And he's focused on that instead of saying, I'm a business coach and I'm scrambling for anybody to just pay me and get me going. That's miserable.
Yeah.
But we found what he's uniquely suited to offer and who he's uniquely able to help. And he's just barreling down that path right now. And it's great. It's fun to watch.
His niche has created an itch.
I like that. I'd never heard that. I like that.
Well,
Well
but
done.
but you said it, and I was refraining from saying it to interrupt you. So, yeah, it's like this has nothing to do with niche, but it helps in the process. Do you know what you've heard of? What fail, right? Have you heard do you know what the acronym of fail means?
No, I haven't.
I think I might even have it on the banner. If I don't find it real quick, I'll just blurt it out because I know it. But oh no, I only have the one for fear. So fail is first attempt in learning.
Right.
Yeah, I hadn't. In addition to that, so fail. The next one is nail. Nail is how I reacted to it, and I think that was on Friday's show with my impromptu guest who stood in for the fellow who couldn't make it because he was in the emergency at the hospital because he's battling cancer.
Mhm.
But he's going to be on the show when he's able to be here. His message is powerful, and we should all have a listen to what he's all about. Because if you think your life's a struggle, listen to his and how he's not letting that knock him down. Anyway, I guess that was a plug for a future show. That's thanks for letting me do that, Todd. I appreciate it. So let's get back to fail and nail, and then get back into niche after that. Any idea what the nail is? If fail is
I'm going
first,
to guess next attempt in learning.
yes, high
All
five.
right, high five.
That's exactly what it is. Isn't that brilliant? Anyway,
Yeah, it is.
so we're again off camera. We were talking about self-talk. So the hacks and things we can do to shift our self-talk from negative to positive is things like that. Fail. What does it mean? And then nail. So what are the things we can? And there's many others. But let's get back onto the niche. What I like about what you're saying about the last thing you said before I took us down a path of not so nichey, is that the niche fits you, just like a pair of trousers, pair of jeans, a nice looking sports coat. It fits good, but it looks good, right? That's why they make you put it on. Well, you got to see if it fits, and they put you in a mirror. It's got 3 sides to it, so that you can see how really well it. So you get emotionally connected to the fit.
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
kind of what it sounds to me, that's what you do to help your clients, is to get excited about how it fits and where they fit with their audience or target tribe, whatever you want to call it.
When I help people find their unique approach along the way, I watch them have that experience of trying on the coat that really fits. And I see them go, wow, this is really cool. And they wouldn't have said it like this before, but they kind of go back and say, up until now, what I've done hasn't really been a good fit for me. It feels forced. I've got a sales script that was handed to me. I'm looking to my, either networking group or my coaching organization to give me a sales script. And I'm kind of just hustling. And when I really step into my unique approach and I understand that, and I start speaking from that perspective, everything I say fits. It's natural. It just flows out. And it's a lot of fun to watch that transformation happen when people figure out this is what I have to offer. And I think everybody wants to believe that's true. I think deep down inside, money aside, money's important, make your money. Deep down inside, I think people want to feel like they have something unique to contribute that will make a difference for someone else.
Yeah, I agree with you. What I liked about what you're talking about is in the sales training that I provide, is I help them get out of that state of mind where selling is something low lifes do, lesser than the upper echelon of life. And once they realize it's actually showing up and serving, and professional selling is a necessity. It's been around forever, and without it, nothing gets done. And it's how you show up and your authenticity. And if you're coming with a canned script that's not you're not emulating yourself, people pick up on that. And if they have if they're picking up on that, they almost have a fuzzy understanding, a fuzzy feeling about the whole experience. And it's not a fit for them, going back to your magic. And what ends up happening is they do make a decision. It's just not to do anything with you because of the fuzzy understanding, the fuzzy feeling. It's uncomfortable, uncertainty. So if we can get rid of the uncertainty in the communications and show up authentically, effectively, and be progressive in our in what we're offering, then people lean in.
That's exactly right. It would be interesting if we could somehow hear what's going on in the mind of our prospect when we're selling to them. I think when they say things like, well, let me think about it and get back with you, what they've said in their mind is, I'm not convinced you're the right one to get me there.
Right.
They're convinced they need the thing that you're selling. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking to them. So
Right.
they're convinced they need a coach or that part is done. They're evaluating you and going, I'm just not convinced you fit with me. And the reason that you don't fit with them, or the reason they think that, is you have not done a good job explaining who you fit with. You're just echoing, oh, you need a business coach. I'm a business coach. Hire me. I'll help your business grow. And they're
That's
not going,
logical.
I don't know that you haven't actually, okay, now we're going to get goofy. You have not actually positioned what you do as a coat that I can slip on and see if it fits.
Mm.
If you could, then I could say you fit or you don't. Either way, I respect what you do. If you don't fit me, you may fit one of my friends. But you just came at me saying, you need to buy a suit. Well, of course I need to buy a suit. Is the suit you're gonna give me, is that gonna fit me? And that's the question. They may not use those words, but that's what's going on in your customer's mind when you're talking to them. They're evaluating fit. And if you're vague, you give them no opportunity to ever find out if you are a good fit for them.
I love what you're talking about, and I hate what I'm going to say. We're getting closer. We're getting to that time where I need to wrap it up. So, on that note, that was a good way for you to tie it up. I'm going to ask you some questions here in a minute, or
Sure.
at least one. But before I do that, I want to make sure people know where to find you. So I'm going to bring that up right now. Where is it going? It's not. Oh, wait a minute. I know what to do. It's right here. We're behind here. We're still here, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm trying to do, though, is present you with the largest size of it. And in order for you to find out how to get to here, this is LinkedIn page. It's simple right there, nice and big and easy. Because if I put the cursor up here and say, look at here, you can see things are happening, but you can't read it. So it's right here, easy to connect. So you can join him there, learn more about him on his LinkedIn page. And there's his page right there where we're going next, but I've got it hidden in the background because I was prepared. And that's easy to get to, growanichebusiness.com. So those are two places that you can learn more about Todd and what he's up to. And there's probably ways to connect to him. Well, in LinkedIn, there's for sure. Oh, look at the top right-hand side up here. We see the cursor. It says schedule a call.
Yep.
Oh, at the bottom, schedule a call. So he's making it really easy. If you're hearing something that we've talked about and you want to reach out and have a conversation with him and find out more about what he's up to, you can do that. So I'm going to bring us both back on right now.
Thanks, Bill. And by the way, since you're on that page, there's a freebie that I've got on that page. If you scroll down about 2/3 of the way down on growanichebusiness.com, you're going to find a free guide called Is Niching Right for You? And the honest truth is that niching is not for everyone. Niching requires a few things of you, some perspectives, some kind of a personality. Niche operators have a certain personality, certain desires in their business. That download will explain what a niche is, what it's not. And then there's a few things in there that work as a litmus test. And you can read that and say, is niching really right for my business? What I want to do with my business, where I want to go, is it right for me? That's a great way to just get started and look at this thing. And if you get to the end of that and realize, yeah, this is right on the money, what I want to do with my business, then schedule a call with me and I'll be happy to show you how we do it.
See, I like that. Good thing you were here driving this. So I'm going to bring you back. I looked at your website, but I didn't go far enough down to see I didn't find the rock to lift up.
That's right.
The gift.
Wrong rock. That's right.
So a part of the success is lift up many rocks as you go down your journey. You just never know what magic's underneath it, or a clue to some feedback would help you on your journey. So on that's a good segue as to what's one thing that would you offer to our guests?
What I can offer, I want to give everyone a basic recommendation because I want everyone to be going down the right road. Stop trying to choose a market. If you are looking for your niche and you're saying and you're evaluating markets, you are going to drive yourself bananas. Just because you like a market, that doesn't mean it's the right market for you. You need to forget about market and think about what makes you unique. Discover your unique approach at what you do. That will lead you to a market, but it'll be the right market, and you won't be chasing and hustling. You'll be offering something where you have the strongest card to play. So forget about market, go after a unique approach that will get you there and ultimately give you the business that you want.
Brilliant. Brilliant. As I bring myself back on. Look, it's like magic. We've changed sides.
That's right.
That brings us to the wrap of our show. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. Stay around for a little bit longer. And there's a lot of nuggets on here. I'll recap here shortly. Again, thanks for investing some time with us and sharing some knowledge.
Thank you for the invitation. It was fun.
Good. See you in a bit. So there's a lot of nuggets. You can go back and watch the replay on YouTube. However, I will give you 3 things that stood out for me. There was many, but these 3 particular: pep in your step. I love that. The niche fits you. And then also it might fit who you're talking to, but it fits you, like the suit jacket or the sports coat. And it's all about what's the uniqueness that you bring to the marketplace that will align to other people who have that common problem. And then by doing that, you could be like the fellow he was talking about. He's got a pep in his step, and he's getting up in the morning with that pep in his step and running. And I know him personally, and it's not a lie. It's all true. That's how we got here today. But before we go away, I want to remind you to be the you in wonderful. Is you're unique and it's you. So be and continue to be your unique, wonderful self. Because just like the niche, nobody else is like you. So show up in your authentic, progressive, and effective self. Until next time, I'm Coach Phil, the host of the Business Renovator.
I get shit done. I have fun. It's my time.